open the maritime corridor for aid from Cyprus to help ease the
Good morning. Welcome to Chocolate Milk Powder Day. All right, who else grew up on Ovaltine? Anybody? Ovaltine? Had it at my grandma's house all the time. That was a treat. We didn't have anything like that at home. No chocolate, nothing. So grandma's house, Ovaltine, Honey Nut Cheerios. It was fantastic. Also, Cordon Bleu Day, Hug a Newsperson Day. Producer Adam, keep your distance. I'm good. Personal space issues. Ramen Noodle Day. My son's going to love that one. School Librarian Day and Tell a Lie Day. Wasn't that April 1st, though? If it is your birthday today, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic birthday today. And let's see. And on this day, interesting thing, New York City's Twin Tower World Trade Center was officially opened. And vitamin C. Oh, it's vitamin C day too. All right, so maybe it's a reminder for you to take some vitamin C. Looking forward to interviewing an author today. Tales from a Rogue Ranger, Rose McHenry. She'll be in a little bit later. I need to figure out now what announcement I'm going to make. What community event are we going to talk about coming up in our next segment? We've got about 3 minutes. Okay. Redden Senior Care. Some of the 6% Hoop Dreams. There's the Blue Jean Bonanza. Downtown Spring Festival.
CDC has been certainly working on
Gold Country Pro Rodeo. That's a good one.
We take health and safety of
Foothills
people.
Brewfest Auburn Chili Cook-Up. What? Hello.
Communities healthy, safe, and informed.
What? Save the date. Foothills Brewfest Auburn Breweries Food Truck Music Games Saturday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
The CDC has said the risk to human health from this outbreak is low.
Save the date.
And will continue to coordinate with relevant
Foothills
and officials. This is when it comes to the public health of the American people.
ChiliCookoff.com.
So this week, Texas health officials announced that a person who had been in contact with has been diagnosed with bird flu. Their only reported symptom was eye
Saturday, May 4th,
health officials have stressed that
12 to 5 p.m. Gold Country Fairgrounds.
And that there's no sign that bird flu is spreading.
Gold Country Fairgrounds. Foothills
Powerball jackpot is
Brewfest.
estimated $1.23 billion after another drawing without a winner Wednesday night. The numbers were 11, 38, 41.
Gold Country Fairgrounds, May the 4th.
The Powerball was 15.
General Mission
The
VIP
jackpot
Tour.
ranks as the 8th largest in U.S.
Entry and first VIP entry and first portable.
reflecting the long odds of 1 in 292.2 million of winning the top prize. Since the last player won the jackpot,
Foothills Brewfest is coming back for 24.
consecutive
Jason
drawings without
Feinkraft.
anybody matching all 6 numbers. The $1.23 billion is for a sole winner who chooses to be paid through an annuity for 30 annual
FoothillsBrewfest.com.
winners almost
All right.
always, though,
Maybe we'll give this one a shot.
which for the next drawing Saturday night would be an estimated
1 to 5 p.m.
$595 million. Reach out to me anytime across the board.
General admission entry and first pour is 1 p.m. VIP entry and first pour is 1
America's first news. We'll be
right back. All right, let's talk about this one. What music should we play with it? This one? Maybe this one. Might be a good one. How much time do I have? 30 seconds? I love that one. That's a good one.
And no prescription needed. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days.
And who is the weather shouting out this time?
Money back guarantee.
Go
If you're
to
ready to start losing weight.
about
Take
Newcastle.
3 months supply with your first
Perfect.
order of Body Sculpt RX. Call now. You have nothing to lose but the pounds. 800
10 seconds, Adam.
5231. 800
You never listen to me.
5231. 800 395 5231. That's 800 395 5231.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Newcastle. Currently 42 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 48 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now to the Fox Business Report.
And this is
It's Fox Business Report.
Gold prices rose to a record yesterday.
All right. So that, Dr. Dahlia, and then Foothills Brew Fest. Do I want to use that? Don't want to use. Or do I want to use that? I don't know what I want to use for this. Oh, maybe I'll use this one. All right, we'll see. We'll pick one. Nothing like last minute picks.
Are you over 30 and
Make it
paying off
interesting.
Life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better,
Okay.
easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions.
Foothills Brew Fest
Approved for up to $200
returns in 2024. Foothills Brew Fest is coming back for 2024. More information to come soon. Come taste the finest craft beers from regional breweries. Support a good cause. Bring your friends. Enjoy great beer, music, games, selection of food, games, and a selection of food trucks.
That's checkethos.com.
Oh shoot!
Hi, this is Dr.
Play the
Dahlia,
commercial.
and I'm thrilled to announce
Boo!
I joined the KAHI radio team each weekday morning from 9
That's
to noon.
Dr. Dahlia.
On KAHI, we tackle issues
Turn
of
up
what's wrong, women's health, children,
PC.
geriatrics,
So we've got
relationships,
music
and more.
coming.
And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies impacting your
May
health.
4th.
So Dr. Dahlia
May the
is
4th
also
be
a
with you.
live call-in medical talk show that
I am gonna
answers
make
your
that
questions
joke.
on the air.
It's
Join
gonna
me,
happen.
Dr. Dahlia, Monday through Friday from 9 to noon here on FM 104.5
What are we gonna choose?
and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
16 minutes past the top of the hour. Hey, here is an event for the calendar. It's going to be on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Hey-oh! Adam, where's the rim shot? May the 4th, coming in May the 4th. Time from 1 to 5 p.m. Where? The Gold Country Fairgrounds. What the heck am I talking about? I'm talking about the Foothills Brew Fest. It returns in 2024. The Foothills Brew Fest is coming back. More information to be coming. But hey, come taste the finest craft beers from regional breweries. Support a great cause. Bring friends. Enjoy great beer, music, games, and a selection of food trucks. Proceeds benefit the Rotary Club of Auburn and Gold Country Fair Heritage Foundation. It's going to be happening on, again, May 4th from 1 to 5 p.m. General admission is, let's go ahead. You can get your tickets. General admission, what is it? It's going to be $45. My goodness gracious, you're going to get a lot for $45. A lot of beer to taste, sample, a lot of food to eat. $60 for VIP admission. What do I get for a VIP admission? Well, entry is at 1 p.m., and that's the first pour. But if you're a VIP, you get your entry and your first pour at 12 p.m. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, gang. Day of, if you wait till day of the event, that general admission is going to be $60 and VIP admission will be $75. Designated drivers are $10. So maybe if you imbibe a little too much, you have a lot of samples. If you're like me and one beer, you're good. Then yeah, get somebody to drive you home. Adults age 21 plus only. It's a drinking thing, so you got to be 21 or older. You can find out more information at foothillsbrewfest.com. Again, foothillsbrewfest.com. May the 4th, 1 to 5 p.m., Gold Country Fairgrounds. Back with more right after this. That was okay.
The Wildlife Care Association.
Remember to mute myself first before I start commenting on my performance.
The nonprofit group is offering classes now for volunteers to assist.
All right, what do we have coming up next? Sports ball.
Visit
Ooh.
wildlifecareassociation.com.
I'm supposed to get that ready to go.
965 Wild and get your adventure going.
Shoot.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself
Kind of missed
saying,
that.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a
Oh, well.
friendly evacuation center.
Did the Kings play yesterday? No, Kings didn't play yesterday. The Kings are playing today. A lot of games yesterday, though.
Without nets. Now, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Oops, I'm going to be late going to the news.
Look better story to tell.
Oh, well.
Get started at ready.gov/olderadults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
19 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, Sports Ball. Back now to America's First News. See you back here in just a little bit.
Rescue search Thursday for dozens of people still out of contact a day after Taiwan's strongest earthquake in a quarter century damaged buildings, caused multiple
All right, good.
landslides,
4
and
minutes.
killed at
Let's
least
set
9
that.
people. In the East,
Looking at sports. Yeah, basketball teams played. Kings didn't. What else we have here? Baseball. Let's talk. Fear the Dodgers and Braves, 5 teams that could take down MLB's 2 super teams this season. Great. I don't care about that. Just give me the scores. Did the Giants play yesterday? That's what I want to know. And walk off for the Orioles. A's played and the A's lost. Great. Okay. Giants played the Dodgers and the Giants lost. Dang. That was yesterday. All right. We'll start with the Giants losing. Otani whacks a 430-foot HR for his first as a Dodger. Shohei Otani. Okay. Good for you. That's great.
Some people use the term pancake.
All right. And then we need to find some local sports too. Let's do that. Auburn Journal.
It's very dangerous for our divers to be able to go into this area. They can't see anything in front of them. This area is extremely unforgiving for them to work on. So the more data we have, the more surveys we can compile. We're completing survey data from the other side as well, and we'll be able to put together a plan to get after this.
The Maryland Senate voted unanimously to pass a bill Wednesday night to authorize the governor to use the state's rainy day fund to help port employees who are out of work and aren't covered under unemployment insurance while the port is closed or partially closed. That sends the bill to the Maryland House, which could approve the bill this week to send it to Governor Wes Moore. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is headed to China, determined to avoid open conflict with the United States. Yet the world's 2 largest economies still appear to be hashing out the rules on how to compete against each other. There are tensions over Chinese government support for the manufacturing of electric vehicles and solar panels, just as the U.S. government ramps up its own aid for those tech sectors. There are differences in trade, ownership of TikTok, access to computer chips, and national security, all of them are linked to what has become.
Okay. Let's talk about track and field. Colfax's Reading shines at Stanford Invitational. Let's do that. Colfax High School senior Jesse Reading has stand performance in the distance events placing in top 10 girls. Reading, who also will run the University of Idaho next school year, placed in the top placed with the top time of any San Joaquin sectional runner. In both events, she finished 6th in the 1600 in 5 minutes 4.84 seconds, and 5th in the 3200 in 10.10 minutes, 56.83 seconds.
However, materially changed the overall picture, which continues to be one of solid growth, a strong but rebalancing labor market, inflation moving down
perfect
2%.
All right.
Sometimes bumpy. Given the strength of the economy, inflation so far.
Okay, off now to
data guide our decisions.
Where's the news?
We've held our policy rate at its current level
Back
since last
after
July,
this.
as shown in the individual projections that the FOMC released just 2 weeks ago. My colleagues and I continue to believe that the policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle. If the economy evolves broadly as we expect, most FOMC participants see it as likely to be appropriate to begin lowering the policy rate at some point this year.
In a speech, Powell also sought to dispel any notion that the Fed's interest rate decisions might be affected by the year's presidential election. The Fed will meet and decide whether to cut rates during the peak of the campaign in July and September. Fed officials will face a delicate decision during those months and during their upcoming meetings in May and June. Fed Reserve Governor Adriana Kugler.
And my baseline expectation is that inflation will continue without a broad economic slowdown, though such an outcome is naturally not assured. In considering the appropriate path of monetary policy, I am guided by the FOMC's dual mandate of maximum employment and stable prices.
The recent pickup in inflation, though slight, has led some economists to postpone their projections for when the Fed will begin cutting rates. Cuts would begin to reverse the 11 increases the central bank carried out beginning in March of 2022 to fight the worst inflation bout in 40 years. A lower Fed rate would likely lead over time to reduced borrowing rates for households and businesses. Major freight railroads will now have to maintain two-person crews on most routes under a new federal rule that was finalized this week in a milestone in organized labor's long fight to preserve the practice. The Transportation Department's Federal Railroad Administration released a rule that was first postponed during the Obama administration. Out of more than 13,000 comments on the rule, about 60 opposed it. There's been intense focus on railroad safety since a fiery February 2023 derailment in Ohio, but few significant changes have been made. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
We know that a big part of ensuring safety is ensuring that there is enough staff on board to safely operate the train and respond when something happens. And that's what brings us here today. These railroad corporations have, in some cases, begun using trains that are a multiple of the length that they used to be. Some of these trains running through communities are about 3 miles long. For perspective, if you put the Empire State Building on its side and then added 11 more Empire State Buildings, that's about how big some of these trains would be. And they want to operate that with one person. Certainly can't imagine operating one Empire State Building with one person. And it doesn't move. It defies common sense, and that changes today. On behalf of the Biden administration, our department is proud to issue this final rule requiring safe crew sizes for every train across America. And we're excited to celebrate that with you. That means we finally have a general provision establishing minimum crew size for trains that should, and from now on must, have at least 2 crew members. A second crew member is vital to performing safety functions like securing the train with handbrakes, handling track switches that are not remotely controlled, obtaining track authorities, assisting in emergencies, and much more. But we know there's more to do. This rule alone will not prevent every incident or accident. So we're going to keep pushing together on what we know that we can achieve from within this building. We're going to keep pushing industry to make the changes that they could make today if they were willing. And we are going to keep pressing Congress to pass the Railway Safety Act. The railroads argue that the size of train crews should be determined by contract talks, not regulators or lawmakers, because they maintain there's not enough data to show that 2-person crews are safer. And Disney shareholders rallied behind longtime CEO Robert Iger, voting Wednesday to rebuff activist investor Nelson Peltz and his ally, former Disney chief financial officer Jay Rasulo, who had sought seats on the company's board. The company had recommended a slate of directors that did not include Peltz or Rasulo. The dissident shareholders had said in a preliminary proxy filing that they wanted to complete a successful CEO transition at Disney and align management pay with performance. Despite their loss, they declared a victory of sorts following the vote, noting that since Peltz's company, Tree & Partners, started pushing Disney in late 2023, the entertainment giant has engaged in a flurry of activity, adding new directors and announcing new operating initiatives and capital improvement plans for its theme parks. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. We're just getting started on this Thursday morning. More on the way. Grab the coffee. Let's go. You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News.
Now, time for another Otis Advice.
Maybe you've noticed that sometimes Sleepy Joe has trouble finding the right word. He mainly just says stuff that sounds like what he's heard on TV.
Corporate America's been doing incredibly well for the last 15 years. Their profits have come up exponentially.
Hell, Joe thought Hammer Time was just happy hour. He can't play spy versus spy because he can't remember which is which. And no, Joe, Star Wars is not a diversity movie. Not yet. And Darth Vader's half-sister Ruth is not the one on the Supreme Court. So stop saying that. It's all this cone of uncertainty that has the Apple tribe so worried. They think of Joe like having dual exhaust, but with one side all stopped up. And they don't like it one bit. Partner, you're starting to look shovel ready. And who told you to just start saying everything really loud?
Sports ball.
Shortbread came back from his
Doing a shout out.
blind date. All he could
Forrest
tell
Hill.
was how he wished he had had
You're on my list.
But that's not important then. Look, Joe, you could still
Here we
turn
go.
this around. Start by telling him you've never heard of anybody and you thought Ukraine was some kind of migratory bird trying to get to Dallas. I believe that mini-series is already in the works. This is your Uncle Otis, and I'll see you.
Here we go.
Peace.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Forest Hill. Currently, it is 33 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 43 degrees. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's get right into it, starting Major League Baseball, Giants versus the Dodgers. Ohtani whacks a 430-foot HR for his first home run as a Dodger. Dodgers win 5-4. Yeah, good for him. All right, moving on. Blue Jays versus the Astros. Astros win there 8-0. Rockies versus the Cubs. Cubs win that by 1, 9-8. A's versus the Red Sox. If you listened yesterday on KAHI, you would know that the A's lost. Red Sox won that one 1-0. And let's see, Rangers versus the Rays. Rangers win that one 4-1. Twins versus the Brewers. Twins win 7-3. All right, I'm bored with that. All right, let's go on to the NBA here. Let's see, Trailblazers versus the Hornets. Trailblazers win that one 89-86. Lakers versus the Wizards. Lakers win that one 125-120. Pacers versus the Nets. Nets win that one 115-111. The Kings did not play. Kings are playing again here today. You can catch all of the action here on KAHI. They're playing New York at 4:30 this afternoon. So catch all of the Kings action here on KAHI today. Kings versus the New York Knicks playing today at 4:30 this afternoon is game time. Again, catch that here on KAHI. Turning locally, I have the Auburn Journal in my hot little hands here. Here we go. Colfax's Redding shines at Stanford Invitational. Colfax High School senior Jesse Redding had a standout performance in the distance events. We're talking about track and field, gang. Placing in the top 10 in the girls' 1,600 and 3,200 meter races. Redding, who will run at the University of Idaho next school year, placed with the top time of any San Joaquin section runner in both events. She finished 6th in the 1,600 in 5 minutes and 4.84 seconds, and 5th in the 3,200 at 10 minutes 56.83 seconds. So Jessie Redding, congratulations at the Stanford Invitational. Colfax's Jessie Redding, she's going to head to the University of Idaho next year. Congratulations and good luck to you as you continue your running career. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
Does your electricity bill
Reading is hard.
Trim that bill down by changing your rate plan.
We don't have enough time for both these commercials.
Matching your electric usage to the
Ooh,
right
we'll
rate
see.
can save you money. Visit PGE.com.
All right, Timmy, you're up. Weather.
Analysis to compare rate plans to see if
You take a bite out of the electricity bill.
your rate plan today. This money-saving tip brought to
You buy Pioneer Community.
The Thursday morning, a series
Hi,
of
Timmy.
lows coming in from the west will be giving us clouds and a few rain showers.
Okay.
Ooh. And
I
Friday.
don't know
Temperatures
time for this
today
other
will be
commercial,
around the
so we need to
49
get it
mark.
0, 0,
It'll be very close to about 37, 38 overnight.
Push that one out.
Those temperatures will be near 50 with a few rain showers Friday. There may be a wet snow shower in the morning. And then it clears for the upcoming weekend. This is meteorologist
Thanks, Tim.
from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your KAHI news. We'll have your California Ag Report. And then coming up next hour, gang, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to have author Rose McHenry in here. We're going to be talking about her book, her new book coming out, Tales from a Rogue Ranger. I have it here in my hot little hands. Very interesting chapter titles. I have a few dog-eared here in the book. Raptor Man, chapter 35. Very easily digestible book. Great short stories here. Page and a half. 2 pages long. It's really, really great. So we're going to talk to her. Looking forward to that coming up here in the next hour, in the 7 o'clock hour. Back now to America's First News. See you back here in just a little bit.
Thursday morning.
All right.
First News continues 34 minutes past.
I need to
President Joe Biden and his
put that commercial in that I didn't play. Let's play. What is it? 0051 is the commercial. So I need to find it, and we will replace one that is not a paid advertisement. So that out of there. There we go. No harm, no foul. Just as long as it plays, that's what we're looking for. Speaking of playing, let's mute these guys so they don't play accidentally. While I'm trying to play my stuff. Computer play. And then, we're going to come back with, what am I going to talk about? Let's talk about the spring event. Downtown Auburn's spring event. And for that, we need to go here and here. And we'll play 4 seasons. Okay, we'll have that talk about spring. And then, off now to record the news. Back after this.
Humanitarian workers that they've been killed over the last 6 months. If we were targeted this way, I need to understand that this was not vicious. I need to understand that this was not somebody that is above law and order that decided used to kill us because, I don't know, maybe because I did a tweet that was very strong against President Netanyahu. I don't know. Obviously, that's why we need to have an investigation that is neutral and is above IDF. I believe will be good intentions on anybody. They will tell the story whatever they want to say. But what I know is that we were targeted deliberately, non-stop, until everybody was dead in this convoy. That cannot be the role of an army. That cannot be the role of an army that has hundreds of drones above Gaza in any single moment.
Israeli forces have repeatedly hit ambulances and vehicles carrying aid, as well as relief organization offices and UN shelters, claiming that armed fighters were in them. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
The devastating Israeli airstrikes that killed World Central Kitchen personnel yesterday bring the number of aid workers killed in this conflict to 196, including more than 175 members of our own UN staff. This is unconscionable, but it is an inevitable result of the way the war is being conducted. It demonstrates yet again the urgent need for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, the unconditional release of all hostages, and the expansion of humanitarian aid into Gaza, as the Security Council demanded in its resolution last week.
The attack on the World Central Kitchen workers threatened to set back efforts by the U.S. and other countries to open a maritime corridor for aid from Cyprus to help ease the desperate conditions in northern Gaza. President Biden teamed up with Senator Bernie Sanders Wednesday to promote his administration's efforts to lower the cost of inhalers and other health care needs as the White House continues its effort to highlight Biden's legislative achievements to voters ahead of the November elections. Both men touted the lower health care costs that come through the Democrats' sweeping climate, health care, and tax package that Biden signed into law in 2022. It puts a lid on various costs for those on Medicare, including $35 a month for insulin and $2,000 a year for prescription drugs. No Republican lawmakers voted in favor of it.
The last few weeks, Some of the big drug companies have gotten the message and reduced the prices for some asthma drugs. Bernie is a big reason why that's happening. In fact, 3 of the 4 largest companies are capping the cost of inhalers for many patients. That can be up to $600 out of pocket at $35. There's some progress beyond what we've looked on the wall. But it's about time. And going forward, with more competition and more generic drugs on the market, the price could even be less than it is now. But that's not all. Because of all of you, my Inflation Reduction Act, drug companies that raise prices more than inflation are going to pay back to Medicare the difference between the charge and the inflation rate. This is based on the price of their drugs in 2021. That means consumers will pay less for prescription drugs, and they'll save taxpayers money and discourage companies from hiking prices faster than inflation in the first place. We want to do more. It's time that drug companies pay rebates when they increase prices faster than inflation, not just for seniors, but for every single American.
Biden's aides and Democratic allies say his achievements, such as lowering healthcare costs, are popular with the public, yet the incumbent president has yet to get the credit from voters. Sanders has a loyal following that supports his calls to rein in medical costs in the U.S. and give the government more control over the healthcare industry. Turning to sports this morning, the New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils started Wednesday night's game with a brawl involving all 10 players on the ice off the opening faceoff. The main event was Rangers forward Matt Reth taking on New Jersey's Curtis McDermott, with the two having history from the previous time the two played on March 11th. The Rangers went on to win 4-3 on a late power play goal Wednesday. All 10 players received 5-minute fighting penalties. Trevor Moore scored 3 goals for a second career hat trick, and the LA Kings snapped their 3-game skid while eliminating the Seattle Kraken from the Stanley Cup playoff race with a 5-2 victory over the Kraken Wednesday. Shohei Ohtani hit his first home run for the LA Dodgers, a solo shot on the 7th inning, a 5-4 win over the Giants Wednesday that finished a 3-game sweep. Playing his 9th game for his new team, Ohtani pulled a 93-mile-per-hour sinker from left-hander Taylor Rogers on the upper portion of the strike zone into right center field pavilion. 3-1. Joe Davis with the call on the Spectrum Sports Live Network. The ball left his bat at 105 miles per hour and landed 430 feet from the plate, where it was picked up by a fan. On the hardwood, Devin Booker had 40 points. Kevin Durant had 32, and the Suns beat the Cavaliers 122-101. The Suns have won 6 of their past 8, moving up to the number 6 spot in the crowded Western Conference playoff race, which would allow them to avoid the play-in tournament. Booker, coming off a 52-point night in a win against New Orleans Monday, shot 13 of 25 from the field, including 5 of 9 from 3. Durant shot 13 of 23 and added 7 assists. Booker on his hot streak.
I mean, it just starts with stops. I think when we're guarding at a high level, the ball's not putting around, it's easier to find rhythm. So, we've been doing a good job like the past 2 games, some important games, and from here on out, every game matters.
And you and Kevin Durant, second game this season that you guys have scored at least 30 points. You combined for 72 tonight. Where is just the confidence level you two have attacking alongside each other?
I mean, that's my favorite player, so iron sharpens iron, and, be alongside him every game. And obviously, he causes a lot of attention. That opens up a lot of great looks for everybody on the team. But we're building. Like I said, this is a tough stretch of the year and an important stretch at the same time. So, we're in good shape.
Booker making the comments to ESPN's Cassidy Hubbard. The Suns would avoid the play-in tournament if the season ended today, but there's plenty of work to do. The Cavs, meanwhile, are trying to protect the number 3 spot in the East, but the Magic and the Knicks are right behind them. And Anthony Davis had 19 of his 35 in the first quarter and had 18 rebounds, helping the Lakers beat the Wizards 125-120 Wednesday for their 8th win in 9 games. LeBron James had 25 points and 9 assists. Rui Hachimura had 19 for the Lakers against his former team. Davis was 10 of 17 from the field and made 15 free throws without a miss. Jordan Poole led Washington with 29 points. LeBron James on the road ahead.
Our focus is on our next opponent and not what's going on in the rankings. Those will decide at the end of the season where everybody will be at. So our next opponent is Cleveland, but I'm obviously, we're excited to kind of get a day off and just kind of, get away from the game. I know I am. Tomorrow will be a good time to get away from the game and be grateful to have these 2 days in between games so we can kind of get our body back. Acclimated to the West Coast after being on the East Coast for, this time of period. So, it's good. It's good.
The Lakers are ninth in the Western Conference, meaning they have to win twice in the play-in tournament to make the main playoff bracket. But they're making a push to move up. LA trailed Phoenix and Sacramento by 1.5 games entering Wednesday. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. You're listening to America's First News.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton. And
here we go.
Imagine taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes.
6 minutes?
Very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855
Rockland.
Share 40. That's
855 Share 40. 855 Share 40. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 6:45 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Rockland. Currently, it is 45 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 50 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar. That's right, the Spring Festival is coming up on Saturday, April 20th. That's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. Free entry for everyone. This is a family-friendly event. You like a little spring music? Adam, this is a good pick for spring music. I like this. It's going to be on Lincoln Way here in Auburn. Again, it's the Spring Festival presented by Downtown Auburn here. Aces baseball team is going to host a cornhole tournament. If you've not played cornhole, you're probably living under a rock because it's everywhere. But cornhole is so much fun. You should check that out. Also, there's going to be live music, food vendors, craft vendors. There's going to be a kids play area. Just fun for the whole family. It's basically what they're saying. Hey, if you want to be a vendor, you can email auburndbaevents@gmail.com. Again, that's auburndbaevents@gmail.com. Again, if you want to sign up to be a vendor. Again, there's going to be live music, food vendors, craft vendors, kids play area. That's Saturday, April 20th. It's the Spring Festival on Lincoln Way, family-friendly event, free entry for everyone, 4 to 8 p.m. Be sure to check it out. Back with your KAHI News right after this.
Today they steal from you. Any device display on light or sleep mode steals energy. They may only steal food, but like drops of water in a bucket, it adds up and you pay. Stop energy theft. Turn off printers and computers when not in use. Use a power strip for charging and turn the strip off when done. Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by
Pioneer Community Energy. 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Here is your KAHI News for this Thursday, April 4th. Lake Tahoe Unified substitute teacher under investigation after parent alerts police. This is from the Sacramento Bee. A substitute teacher from the Lake Tahoe Unified School District is under investigation following concerns raised by a parent of a middle school student, as reported by authorities. Lieutenant Scott Cervelli, a spokesman for the South Lake Tahoe Police Department, said that the investigation was initiated on March 27th after the concerned parent approached the police with concerns about communications between the substitute and a student. However, the specifics of the allegation and the school where the teacher was employed were not disclosed. Cervelli also refrained from commenting on whether the investigation focused solely on the teacher's interactions with students or extended to his behavior outside of school. South Lake Tahoe News reports said parents of students potentially affected by the incident at South Tahoe Middle School were contacted by both the school district and the police. The Lake Tahoe Unified School District, in communication with parents via email, hinted that the substitute teacher may have engaged in inappropriate conversations with students. Quote, "It is our district's steadfast commitment to create a secure environment for all students," unquote, the district wrote to parents, according to news reports. Quote, "LTUSD will take proactive measures to reinforce appropriate staff to student interactions and will work closely with our students to help them recognize and report any inappropriate communications from adults," unquote, the district said in the letter. District officials did not respond to requests for comment. Cervelli said no arrests have been made. Suspect's GPS monitor led Roseville police to an arrest after retail theft of Spam and other groceries. This is from the Sacramento Bee. A suspect's GPS ankle monitor helped Roseville police catch a man last week accused of stealing carts of Spam and other grocery items from Safeway with an alleged accomplice, authorities said. Officers went on March 21st to a Safeway at 9045 Wood Creek Boulevard for reports of a theft. Two men are accused of wheeling away enough Spam, coffee, Dove soap bars, and alcohol to fill multiple cars, the Roseville Police Department said. Daniel Adams, 28, was arrested after a pursuit began and ended with him trying to run away in a residential area, police said. However, a passenger escaped from the vehicle. Police caught up to the second suspect, a 29-year-old Stockton resident, on Thursday while tracking a GPS monitor on his anklet, police said Tuesday. Quote, "With his ankle GPS spamming his every move, he practically gave us a step-by-step guide to his thieving escapades," unquote, police said on Facebook. More than $9,000 worth of stolen items were recovered by officers. Adams, a South Sacramento County resident, pleaded not guilty in Placer Superior Court to organized retail theft, grand theft, receiving stolen property, evading police officers, obstructing or resisting police officers, and being an unlicensed driver at his March 25th arraignment. He was no longer in jail custody as of Tuesday. The 29-year-old Stockton man is scheduled to be arraigned April 15th, according to court records. He faces charges of organized retail theft, grand theft, receiving stolen property, and obstructing or resisting peace officers, according to court records. He was in custody Tuesday at the South Placer jail and was being held with bail set at $92,500. Back with more news right after this.
The state of California has millions of regulations, but surprisingly, almost nothing
That was funny.
to the technical knowledge required of a heating
His anklet practically spamming his location. Not too smart. Okay, fire camp for the kids. Morning brew. Word of the day. Today's word of the day is mayhem, meaning violent disorder or chaos. Sounds like my stomach the other night. Woo! Here we go. Ooh, I can open the blinds. How much time do I have? Another minute? Perfect. Mountain air time. Oh, it's cloudy outside.
2023 for many people small businesses. It was a year to put in your rear view mirror. For home insurance, it was a time to build relationships.
You should read this
right
book.
now, say thank you for the many businesses that put their trust and faith in our agency. And Homer,
Raptor Man. You've got some weird survivalist nuts out there shooting at birds, a man said when he came to Auburn Ranger Station on Highway 49 to report a crime in progress. He was livid. Let that pique your curiosity. Here we go. 10 seconds, Adam. Take a walk back in time. 2 seconds. 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Continuing now with your KAHI News. Applications open for Roseville Fire Kids Camp. No, it's not where you fire the kids. It's Fox 40 News is reporting this one. Young people in the Sacramento area interested in learning about what it takes to be a firefighter have the chance to get some hands-on learning at the Roseville Fire Kids Camp 2024. Open to both Roseville residents and non-residents, the 5-day camp runs from June 10th to June 14th, and applications are now open. Applications are due by 5 p.m. on April 24th. The camp is open to those ages 11 to 14 by June 9th, 2024. Those ages 15 to 17 with 2 years of prior experience at the camp can sign up to be junior counselors. The camp costs $335 and no payment is needed until campers are selected. The final camper selection will be on May 6th. Each day, the camp will run from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., where campers will learn water safety, first aid, CPR, babysitting basics, rescue practices, firefighting, and fitness. The camp will be held at 2030 Hilltop Circle in Roseville, and campers will be provided lunch, snacks, shirts, and other swag. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Jose Andres is speaking out after an Israeli strike killed 7 aid workers from his World Central Kitchen charity who were delivering food in Gaza. Ukraine lowered its military draft age from 27 to 25, a controversial move as the country tries to bulk up its troops to fight Russia's invasion. Intel revealed that its semiconductor-making unit lost $7 billion last year. The news sent the company's stock down. Amazon is laying off hundreds of employees from its cloud computing division, including the team overseeing its cashierless tech, and not just the walkout feature it's pulling from its stores, as well as people in sales and marketing roles. And Microsoft and Quantum said that they have a major quantum computing breakthrough. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is mayhem, meaning violent disorder or chaos. And that's your KAHI news for this Thursday, April 4th. On now to the California Ag Report.
California Ag Today. I am Haley Schiff. This is
With
the Ag
California
Information
Ag Today,
Free
I am
water rights
Haley
holders,
Schiff.
have you filed your annual water diversion and use
All
reports for
right,
water
we
year
need to get
2023?
a
If the answer
Beatles
yes,
song
then
pulled
no.
up.
A notice of violation could be on the way.
Uh,
It's just been announced that the Division of
just
Water Rights
been announced.
will be sending those notices in the next few weeks for those who have not submitted their annual reports or statements. Those were due before February 1st. According to the board, if you
what is
submit your
their
past due report promptly, you will not
Can't
receive
buy me
notice and potential future
love?
reports.
Yep, we're gonna do that one.
There is a help website that has been set up in an attempt to walk rights holders through the process. You can get a link to that on our website, aginfo.net. A side note on the topic of water, the Department of Water Resources in the state says their April snow survey shows above average snowpack for the second straight season. DWR's electronic readings from 130.
Check it here.
God for me love, love, God for me love. All you done bring my friend and makes you feel alright. I can't do anything, my friend, that makes you feel alright. And I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love.
All right.
God for me.
Play when I do it next time. All right.
Makes all visible labels disappear.
All right, what other fun facts do we have? 12 nations signed the North Atlantic Treaty, creating the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in 1949. Vitamin C was isolated by C.G. King. Argonia, Kansas elected Susan M. Salter as the first female mayor in the United States, 1887. 1849. 1841, William Henry Harrison died of pneumonia, becoming the first president of the United States to die in office, residing 31 days in total. Rough. Beatles top 5, Can't Buy Me Love, Twist and Shout, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Please, Please Me.
Visit Cultiva.com for more
What do we
information.
have?
With California Ag Today on the Ag Information Network, I am Haley Schiff.
Hi,
It's
Haley.
Sinatra and Friends.
Ooh.
Saturdays and Sundays
Oh.
right here on 104.5 FM and AM 950
Darn it.
KAHI. Join Frank and his friends, Sammy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and
Oh, I
more.
might just have
performing songs from the Great
Shoot,
American
I didn't mean
Songbook.
to get rid of that.
Sinatra and Friends Weekends.
Oh, well.
Brought to you by Nationwood Home Furnishings on Folsom Boulevard in Rancho Cordova. Right here on the Voice of the Blues, 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
Do you
ever wonder how your life can be better, happier, healthier, and even more? Have I got some ideas for you? I'm Mary Jane Copier. I'm developing.
Let's put in producer Adam. Adam, I'm going to put you in as a commercial just to take up some time.
Oh, it's just around the corner. We'll go there together with new.
We may run out of time, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll make a difference.
Hi, Mike.
What are you doing Sunday?
What are you doing Sunday, baby?
One, you could be our swap shop this Sunday morning at 8. If you have something to sell, or if you're looking for something, maybe you're having a yard sale, or perhaps you have a freebie you want to.
Okay.
You can give me a call.
Oh, wake up, Chris. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Cause it's a nice day now. What are you doing Sunday, baby?
Hey there, KI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the morning, along with Matt Ray and America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KI, the voice of the foothills.
I never miss it, and neither should you. 30 seconds to the top of the hour. Thanks, Adam, for showing up. Thanks for cutting those commercials. I'm glad that you never miss it. You never should, because you're here every day. We have 1 hour down coming up here in the next hour. Got a lot of good stuff for you, including your daily dad jokes, make you laugh, sigh, probably roll your eyes. Pausing now for station identification.
KAHI, Auburn.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour, 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here in beautiful Studio A in downtown Auburn, holding it down, looking outside right now. Sun's coming up a little bit, but you couldn't tell because it's all cloudy outside again. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for the rain. I'm happy for the precipitation. I'm happy for the weather, but some nice balmy high 60 degree weather. If we could keep it around there for just a little bit, let's not just go from rain to 102 degree temperatures. I would be very happy about that. I know several people around this area would be as well. But hey, as we're getting started today, thanks so much for joining me today. If today is your birthday, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day. You share a birthday with folks like Clive Davis, American record producer. He was born on this day in 1932. Muddy Waters, American blues guitarist. He was born on this day in 1915. Let's see. Maya Angelou was born on this day in 1928. American poet. Craig T. Nelson, oh my gosh, born on this day in 1944. Coach, if you ever saw the sitcom Coach, that was brilliant. Oh my gosh, was that a good one? Let's see, David Cross, an American actor and screenwriter, hilarious guy. He was born on this day in 1964. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. I wonder if he is okay just being now pigeonholed as a Marvel superhero. Robert Downey Jr., American actor, born on this day in 1965. Heath Ledger, born on this day in 1979. Oh, I didn't know he was Australian. He died, of course, in 2008. So happy birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day. Did you make cupcakes for the whole class? Is everybody getting a cupcake here? It's your birthday today. Apparently, you have to do work on your birthday to make cupcakes for everybody, or your mom did. Yeah, one way or the other. But happy birthday to you. Hey, as we're getting started for today, coming up later on this hour, I am super excited for this. We're going to have author Rose McHenry here. Her new book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger, talking about what it's like to be a park ranger here in local state parks here, about being a woman ranger, and going through this book. It is very readable. It is fantastic. Here, how about chapter 16? Here's a short story for you. I'm just a redneck cowboy, and I'm drunk off of my you-know-what. That's going to be, here's a story for you. Gun-toting madman, that's an interesting one. Here we go. Chapter 11, Love on the Rocks. That's exactly what you think it is happening right there. Chapter 9, The Forgotten Pig. Just these stories are about 2 or 3 or 4 pages long. Very short story, very reasonable to read. Great. It's a great read. Really great stories. I'm really glad she decided to put this together to go through. And again, we'll tell you how you can get the book. We'll hear about her inspiration for this. Chapter 38, Broken and Busted. You can just tell, or just chapter 39, the guardian angel. Lots of great stuff. There's pictures in here illustrated here as well. Chapter 44. I'm interested to find out more about this one. Last Chance Outhouse. That might be what you think it is. And Down and Out at Ruck a Chucky. I'm not sure what that one is, but we'll find out more about that. So yeah, Rose McHenry joining me a little bit later on this hour, so stick around for that. Hey, on this day, here's some interesting bit of history of trivia for you. I'll give you a audio hint here. Let's go ahead and play that. Anybody recognize this little known band here? That's right. On this day in 1964, the Beatles became the first artist to hold all top 5 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 on the same week. The top 5, well, it was this one. Number 1 was Can't Buy Me Love. Number 2, any guesses from the class? That's right, Twist and Shout. Number 3, She Loves You. Number 4, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And number 5, Please Please Me. Unbelievable that one band had so many iconic hits that we would all recognize. So congratulations to the Beatles. I don't think they need congratulations. They did their thing. So fantastic stuff there. Hey, on this day in 1841, William Henry Harrison died of pneumonia, becoming the first president of the United States to die in office. His presiding was a total of 31 days. William, Bill, let's have a little chat. You should have put on your jacket for your inauguration speech like your wife told you to do. Fellas, it's one thing I remember my father-in-law saying in our wedding vows. My father-in-law and my dad did, both pastors married my wife and I, and he said, listen to your wife. She's pretty wise, and that has proven true time and time again, although she would probably say, listen to me more. Hey, we need to find out what our weather is looking like. We need to listen to meteorologist Tim Root now to find out what our weather's looking like today. Timmy, how are we looking for today?
From the west, will be giving us clouds and a few rain showers.
Looky Lou's looking in the window there.
Today will be around the
0005C. I need to work that in.
Those temperatures will be near 50 with a few rain showers Friday. There might be a wet snow shower in the morning. And then it clears for the upcoming weekend. This is meteorologist Tim Ray from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Thank you, Tim. Hey, coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your Fox Business Report, also an event for the calendar. So make sure you've got the calendar out there to make sure you know what's going on around the Auburn area and our surrounding areas. Tons of good stuff. Always something good going on here. We're going to head off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. I think we're heading off to America's First News. This is weird. What happened to the news? Did we lose the feed?
Inflation and investing with value. Of course, inflation causes you to lose value with your cash.
Math. Last week, the Feds put almost $1 trillion into stock.
Is this Ben Stein doing the report here?
Let me tell you something. That was just last week.
Okay, we need to put in this commercial because I missed it because I talked too much. Let's put it in right there. Sales ad. We're gonna put it right there. Math is things, and I'm Ben Stein. What?
Monday they had put 200. In other words, yesterday they put 241 spots.
Are you kidding me?
So 241.
0005C is not there.
The market was again in the red yesterday. Today they put $208 billion into the market. So already in just 2 days, we have over $450 billion in the market.
Weird. Why isn't it there?
It's just kind of like
All right, well, we're gonna play that.
It's kind of just sitting there.
That's just what it's gonna be.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. And this
Seriously,
is why
Ben Stein
listeners
is doing
need
this
to listen,
report.
because
Hey,
when they
listeners.
start putting this money into the market, it's humble. That cannot be. That cannot be the road. You know what I mean? That cannot be the road.
All right, 5 minutes. Off now to finish editing the news. Back after this. Oh, what am I gonna announce? Blue Jean Bonanza. That's what we're gonna talk about. Oh, so we need to have the Aerial Jean Band up. Actually, I can just go to my playlist here. Here. Test this out. What's that? Okay, back after this.
He said that in his statement.
The killed were 3 British citizens, a Polish citizen, an Australian, and a Canadian-American dual citizen. Israeli Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi.
It shouldn't have happened. The initial findings were just presented to me here in the Southern Command. I also visited the new Humanitarian Command Center that we established today to improve the way we coordinate aid distribution in Gaza. We will continue taking immediate action to ensure that flow is done and protect humanitarian aid workers. This incident was a grave mistake.
The strikes on the World Central Kitchen workers threaten to set back efforts by the U.S. and other countries that open a maritime corridor for aid from Cyprus to help ease the desperate conditions in northern Gaza. A major spring storm was expected to drop more than a foot of snow in parts of New England Wednesday night, while heavy rain soaked the East Coast and cleanup work continued in several states racked by tornadoes and other severe weather, blamed for killing at least 3 people. The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for several states. Parts of New Hampshire and Maine were expected to see the highest amounts of snow. Storms in northeastern Oklahoma Tuesday unleashed 3 suspected tornadoes and dumped heavy rain that was blamed for the death of a 46-year-old homeless woman in Tulsa. She was sheltering inside of a drainage pipe. In Kentucky, storms that spawned at least 5 tornadoes resulted in 1 death from a vehicle crash and left widespread damage in several counties. And a woman in her 80s was killed in the Philadelphia suburb of Collegeville Wednesday when a tree fell on her car following heavy rainfall. A judge on Wednesday rejected Donald Trump's bid to delay his April 15th hush money criminal trial until the Supreme Court rules on the presidential immunity claims he raised in another of his criminal cases, spurning another of the former president's ploys to put off the historic trial. Several more are pending. Manhattan Judge Juan Merchant declared the request untimely, ruling that Trump's lawyers had plenty of opportunities to raise the immunity issue before they finally did so last month, well after a deadline for pretrial motions had already passed. The timing of the defense's March 7th filing raises real questions about the sincerity and the actual purpose of the motion, according to the judge's decision. A poultry facility in Michigan and an egg producer in Texas both reported outbreaks of avian flu this week. The latest developments on the virus also include infected dairy cows and the first known instance of a human catching bird flu from a mammal. Although health officials say the risk to the public remains low, there's rising concerns, emerging in part from news that the largest producer of fresh eggs in the U.S. reported an outbreak. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the CDC is handling the situation.
CDC has been certainly working on top, working and focusing on this. We take health and safety of the American people seriously. It is very important to this president. Our top priority is to keep communities healthy, safe, and informed. We're closely tracking these, monitoring this, as I just stated, of the reports that are out there, and have active, relevant agencies to coordinate with and support local authorities. The CDC has said the risk to human health from this outbreak is low. They're continuing to monitor and will continue to coordinate with relevant agencies and officials. This is when it comes to the public health of the American people, we take that very seriously and will continue to track this.
This week, Texas health officials announced that a person who had been in contact with cows had been diagnosed with bird flu. Their only reported symptom was eye redness. U.S. health officials.
This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent
disease. Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt, your shoulder hurts, and your back. Oh my God, your back.
Oh my God, your back. Oh.
Every painkiller.
Every painkiller, blah, blah, blah.
Something you haven't tried. Pain Absolve. Absolve is not available in any drug.
30 seconds, Adam.
The way to get it is by calling today. We're so confident that it will work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription needed. And
All right, who are we going to shout out?
purchase comes with a
Let's shout out.
Call now to find out how you can get
Other side of the freeway over there. Let's do Placerville.
Call 800-358-9179. That's 800-358-9179. 800-358-9179. Call today.
800-358-9179. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Placerville. Currently, it is 37 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 44 degrees. All right, let's turn it over as we do at this time to the Fox Business Report.
And this is the Fox Business Report. New claims for unemployment benefits rose last week from 9,000 to 201,000, though it's still in the range of a healthy job market.
Okay, what are the things? Love on the rocks. Toy guns are no fun. Deja Vu. Raptor Man. That's going to be interesting. Near-death experience. Whoa. I never really envisioned becoming a police officer. I just wanted to be a park ranger, but unlike the U.S. National Parks, where you can choose to be a naturalist ranger or a peace officer, California state parks require their rangers to be full peace officers. That is a beautiful. That's because people commit crimes when they visit parks, especially in California. Many parks are close to cities. All kinds of crimes happen. Over the years, I dealt with every kind of crime imaginable.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos. A better
I should bring up the questions that
all online with no
she said I could
answer
ask
a few health questions, and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it
Fourth.
worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial
Open.
security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com.
There we go.
That's checkethos.com.
Placer Farm Supplies, Big Red Barn on Highway 80 in Newcastle. With the new year, it's time to spray the weeds,
All right.
lay down the fertilizer, and soon time to plant the pastures. Fix or replace the fence. Ever hear the term good fences make great neighbors? Well, it's true. Bring your plant to Placer Farm Supply, and our knowledgeable staff will get you started. We've got your critters covered too.
Attack of the Killer Caterpillars?
We can feed them all. Placer
Whoa.
Farm Supply, the Big Red Barn on Highway 80 in Newcastle. Come see us for all your critter and farming and ranching needs.
16 minutes past the top of the hour. Hey, here is another event for the calendar. Do you have this one penciled in yet? Well, you should write it in pen because you're going to want to go to this one. It is the Blue Jean Bonanza. That is happening Saturday, April 20th. That's going to be at the Gold Country Fairgrounds in the Sierra Building, 5 o'clock, $75 a tickets. Whoa, Chris. That's a little pricey. $75 per ticket. What am I going to get for that? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to get for it. You're going to get a barbecue dinner. You're going to get to hear this band right here. Yeah, that's the Ariel Jean Band. There's going to be a no-host bar. There's going to be an auction, free parking, but more importantly, it's going to support Seroptimus International of Auburn, 75 years of supporting Auburn women. You can find out more and get your tickets at soropauburn.org. That's SOROP auburn.org. You can also follow them on Facebook at Seroptimus International of Auburn on Facebook. Again, it's the Blue Jeans and Bonanza, Saturday, April 20th, Gold Country Fairgrounds, Sierra Building, 5 p.m., $75 a ticket. Barbecue dinner. The Ariel Jean Band is going to be playing this. Maybe they're going to play this song right here. The more I hear the song, the more I love it. It is a very catchy tune. There's going to be a no-host bar, auction, free parking, lots of great stuff. Find out more and get your tickets at SOROPauburn.org, SOROPauburn.org. Back with more after this. That was a good reading. I like that reading.
Resource Services is currently seeking applications for personal assistant registry.
All right.
Their personal assistant registry is a list of
Ooh, dad jokes. Anybody watching got dad jokes? Nobody's watching. Great.
If you are interested in helping people with disabilities or older adults with personal care.
Okay, find dad jokes. Do I have any dad jokes in the inbox?
530-885-6100 extension 31 or tcooper@pirs.org to fill out an application to join the Registry of Qualified Assistants. Pierce is a federal and state designated independent living center serving Placer, El Dorado, and Alpine counties. It is a non-residential, non-profit organization. The mission of Pierce is to advocate, empower, and educate the community and provide services for people with disabilities, enabling them to control their alternatives for independent living.
18 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, Daily Dad Jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh, roll your eyes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com or call me 530-885-3565. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
First News continues. It's April 4th. And rescue research Thursday for dozens of people still out of contact a day after Taiwan's strongest earthquake in
joke
a quarter
one.
century damaged buildings caused multiple
Your
rock
narcissist
slides
does take a
and
screw and
killed at
light
least 9
bulb.
people. In the eastern coastal city of Hualien near the epicenter, workers
Go.
had to stabilize the base of a damaged building with construction materials as
Put that in the old work channel.
Exterior. The mayor said 48 residential buildings had been damaged, some of which were tilting at precarious angles with their
Dad
ground
jokes.
floors
Ooh.
crushed. Some residents were still staying in tents, but much of the island's day-to-day life was returning to normal. The only maritime shipping terminal currently operating in the port of Baltimore is preparing to process an influx of ships as crews continue carrying the mangled wreckage of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Trade Point Atlantic will unload and
All right, here we go. Luke, you're going to get
vehicles over the next 15 days. That includes 6 regularly
That's gonna
scheduled
get a
ships
shout
and
out.
9 others redirected as access to the port's main terminals remains blocked.
There we go.
Posing a logistical nightmare for shipping across the East Coast. Meanwhile, bad weather has hindered salvage operations in recent days for the Coast Guard.
Two.
Perspective.
Send that one.
Those cranes. We don't have lightning in the area.
Lightning in the
Continue to work
area.
to do that.
Yeah,
We gotta do
lightning.
that safely.
What we're seeing in the water is that the wreckage has been completely collapsed. Some people use the term
There we go.
pancaked, but that's making it very difficult to even determine where to cut, how to cut. It's very dangerous for our divers to be
Okay.
able to go into
Go.
this
So
area.
that's a good one.
They can't see anything in front
And
of them. This area is extremely unforgiving for them to work on. So the more data we have, the more surveys we can compile. We're completing
No.
survey data from the other side.
And
as
from
well.
Missy, I dreamt I was swimming in orange juice. It turns out it was a fantasy. Oh!
Authorized the governor to use the state's rainy day fund to help port employees who are out of work.
Let's
and are
email that one
unemployment
in.
insurance while the port is closed or partially closed. That sends the bill to the mayor of the House, which
Oops.
could approve the bill this week to send it to Governor Wes Moore.
Live.
Treasury Secretary Janet
KAHI.com.
Yellen is headed to China, determined to avoid open conflict with the United States. Yet the world's 2
Dad
largest economies still appear to be hatching out
3.
on how to compete against each other.
There we
There are
go.
tensions over Chinese government support for the
And
manufacturing
let's make sure
of
it comes
electric vehicles
in.
and solar panels, just as the U.S. government ramps up its own aid for those tech sectors. There are differences in trade, ownership of TikTok, access
that
to
Rose?
computer chips, and national security. All of them are risks to what has become a
Perfect.
careful relationship. Fed Reserve officials will likely reduce their benchmark interest rate later this year, Chair Jerome Powell said Wednesday, despite recent reports showing that the U.S. economy is still strong and that inflation picked up in January and February. Powell, in a speech at Stanford University, said the outlook is the same despite the uptick.
Recent readings on both job gains and inflation are coming higher than expected.
Hi, Rose. Come on in. How are you? Good to meet you.
Yes,
I briefly when I run the packet.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Now, like I have a face for the name. So yeah, we've got a little bit of time here. Thanks for being early. I'm probably going to put you over there in that studio over there, and then we'll just chit chat back and forth. I'm super excited about this. I mean, this was awesome. Like, what a great press package to have everything in there, have all the information there. It was amazing. So I'm really looking forward to it. I was talking to some of my coworkers about it, and they were she one of them was in Atlanta, and she looked it up, and she's like looking through the review. She's like, "Oh wow, this looks really interesting." I'm like, "I've got the book right here. Let me." So I want. So I was kind of promoting some. This was and then so I know you highlighted some in the questions there, but like Raptor Man, and so one of the things I like to do is just shout out like, hey, on page 162 here, chapter 35, so we can kind of talk
Tell me
about.
what the chapter name is.
Yeah, Raptor Man. Yeah, so I'll just give you kind of those hints and maybe just kind of give a kind of an overview, but we can talk about maybe some of the pictures that are in here. I mean, there's a picture there. So yeah, but I love there's just great little short stories here that it's so easily digestible, right? It's just super fun. So yeah, right. I love it. So okay, cool. Well, we've got let's see. Yeah, you're fine. So yeah.
In considering the appropriate path of monetary policy, I am guided by the FOMC's dual mandate of maximum employment and stable prices.
The recent pickup in inflation, though slight, has led some economists to postpone their projections for when the Fed will begin cutting rates. Cuts would begin to reverse the 11 increases the central bank carried out beginning in March of 2022 to fight the worst inflation bout in 40 years. A lower Fed rate would likely lead over time to reduced borrowing rates for households and businesses. Major freight railroads will now have to maintain two-person crews on most routes under a new federal rule that was finalized this week in a milestone. Organized labor's long fight to preserve the practice. The Transportation Department's Federal Railroad Administration released the rule that was first postponed during the Obama administration. Out of more than 13,000 comments on the rule, about 60 opposed it. There's been intense focus on railroad safety since a fiery February 2023 derailment in Ohio, but few significant changes have been made. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
We know that a big part of these railroad corporations have, in some cases, begun using trains that are a multiple of the length that they used to. Some of these trains running through communities are about 3 miles long. For perspective, if you put the Empire State Building on its side and then added 11 more Empire State Buildings, that's about how big some of these trains would be. And they want to operate that with one person. Certainly can't imagine them operating one Empire State Building. And if it really is the common sense in that chamber. On behalf of the Biden administration, our to issue state crew sizes for every train across America. And we're excited to celebrate that with you. That means we finally have a general provision establishing minimum crew size for trains that should and from now on must have at least 2 crew members. A second crew member is vital to performing safety functions like securing a train with handbrakes, handling track switches that are not remotely controlled, obtaining track authorities, assisting in emergencies, and much more. But we know there's more to do. This rule alone will not prevent every incident or accident. So we're going to keep pushing together on what we know that we can achieve from within this building. We're going to keep pushing industry to make the changes that they could make today if they were willing. And we are going to keep pressing Congress to pass the Railway Safety Act. The railroads argue that the size of train crews should be determined by contract talks, not regulators or lawmakers, because they maintain there's not enough data to show that 2-person crews are safer. And Disney shareholders rallied behind longtime CEO Robert Iger, voting Wednesday to rebuff activist investor Nelson Peltz and his ally, former Disney chief financial officer Jay Rasulo, who had sought seats on the company's board. The company had recommended a slate of directors that did not include Peltz or Rasulo. The dissident shareholders had said in a preliminary proxy filing that they wanted to complete a successful CEO transition at Disney and align management pay with performance. Despite their loss, they declared a victory of sorts following the vote, noting that since Peltz's company, Free & Partners, started pushing Disney in late 2023, the entertainment giant has engaged in a flurry of activity, adding new directors and announcing new operating initiatives and capital improvement plans for its theme parks. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. We're just getting started on this Thursday morning. More on the way. Grab the coffee. Let's go.
You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News. At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example, Hotshot Secret Stiction Eliminator. Stiction, that sticky friction, undermines the performance of diesel engines. Third-party ASTM testing verifies that Stiction Eliminator removes 2 times as much stiction than any alternative on the retail shelf. Stiction Eliminator is formulated to be left in the engine oil. It works as you drive.
Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hotshot Secret, powered by science.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory. What if inflation went to the doctor?
Help me, Doc. Look how big I've gotten, and I'm getting bigger. What do we do?
Inflation? You should have come to see me sooner, the doc said. You're getting too much cash in your diet, and now look at you. I'm seeing double digits. Somebody's been feeding the kitty. Where you put all that cash?
Well, said inflation, mainly it just goes in the mail right to your house. Hell, votes cost money, Doc. Or let's say you just hit town from south of the border and you want a new cell phone. Done. Just let inflation tote the note. See how easy this works? Inflation continued. I keep saying, get off me, I'm bloated. You know, like the girls in Queens say all the time. But the big guy just laughs and prints more. That Joe, he lets the dough rise twice. It's a sweet deal until you're down to your last cap. Then they're all like, oh, jokes. Like it's my fault. Hell, I'm just... Comes up later. Look, what used to be a 16-ounce pack of sausage is now 12 ounce. That won't feed 5 hungry men, and a big manly woman can't be done. I asked the big guy if he was going to tap the oil reserves. Hey, you tapping that? Oh, hell yeah, he said. This your Uncle Otis. A false and dangerous narrative, and I'll see you at the Peace March.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is right smack dab at the bottom of the hour, 7:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is 39 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 45 degrees. All right, let's get right into it. There is our daily dad jokes and music. That's right, make you laugh side. Probably most likely roll your eyes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com, or you can call me 530-885-3565. Got a couple in the inbox here that we'll get to in just a second. But before that, how about this? How many narcissists does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. The narcissist holds the light bulb while the rest of the world revolves around him. Oh, okay. All right, well, that's pretty good. How many narcissists does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1, the narcissist holds the light bulb while the rest of the world revolves around him. All right, yeah, let's go. All right, Adam, let's. All right, next one. This one comes in from Luke C. Luke, thanks for sending this one in. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. Oh, hey, that one got an applause. Hey. That was actually a good one. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. Nice one, Luke. All right, here we go. Let's do one more here just for grins and giggles. This one from Melissa R. I dreamt I was swimming in orange juice. Turns out it was a fantasy. There. That's good. I dreamt I was swimming in orange juice. It turns out it was a fantasy. Get it? Because Fanta orange. Okay. Anyway, and those are your daily dad jokes for this Thursday, April 4th. Again, send me yours live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com. Melissa and Luke, thanks for sending yours in. You can also call me 530-885-3565. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
The savings are amazing at Naturewood Home Furnishing Sofa Sale.
Choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics.
Save on every sofa, including gallery exclusive, custom-ordered flex steel furniture.
Just set that.
Sofas, sectionals, recliners, all come with flex steel superior blue steel highest quality spring construction. Nature, you know, the building with the water.
Color Brooklyn Nova and Orion.
Okay, Timmy, you're up.
Good Thursday morning. A series of lows coming in from the west will be giving us clouds and a few rain showers today, tonight, and Friday. Temperatures today will be around the 48, 49 degree mark, and it'll be very close to about 37, 38 overnight. Those temperatures will be near 50 with a few rain showers Friday and maybe a wet snow shower in the morning. And then it clears for the upcoming weekend. There we go. This is meteorologist Tim Wright from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is,
Okay.
1 in 10 young adults
jokes
experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
33 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 7:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, gang, I am excited about this one. I've got Rose McHenry, local author. She is in the building. We're going to be talking about her new book, Tales. Let me grab the book here. Tales from a Rogue Ranger, her time as a state park ranger. There are a ton of fascinating stories. I can't wait to get into this book with her, with you. We're going to hear some really great stuff. That is coming up here in just a little bit. See you back here right after America's First News.
Good Thursday morning, America's First News continues 34 minutes past the hour on this 4th day of April. And President Joe Biden and his
What's that?
Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu are set
Yeah, okay, perfect.
amid growing White House frustration with Israel's prosecution of the war in Gaza and the aftermath.
I realized I left my copy of the book right here. I was reaching for it, like, where did it go? I was going to read another chapter title. And I'm like, I don't have it. Oh no. So.
Jose Andre, and the Israeli attack that killed 7 of his food aid workers, targeted them systematically.
Well, we know what everybody knows. That 7 team members. We had all the information. Obviously, the first minutes and hours until the situation began. We made very obvious when we began seeing images of these bodies and these.
Now, you sound like you've done this before, so this isn't your first.
These were our people. At the end is what we know, what everybody knows. 7 team members between the specialty security people we have, 3 British individuals and 3 international crew plus 1 Palestinian, that they were targeted systematically, car by car. They were targeting us in the conflicting zone, in an area controlled by the idea. Them knowing that was our teams moving on that route with 3 cars, and then they hit the third one. Then we saw the consequences of that continuous targeting attack. 7 people dead, but there are 7 on top of a list of another 190 humanitarian workers that they've been killed over the last 6 months. If we were targeted this way, I need to understand that this was not vicious. I need to understand that this was not somebody that is above law and order that decided used to kill us because, I don't know, maybe because I did a tweet that was very strong against President Netanyahu. I don't know. Obviously, that's why we need to have an investigation that is neutral and is above IPF. I believe would be good intentions on anybody. They will tell the story whatever they want to say. But what I know is that we were targeted deliberately, non-stop, until everybody was dead in this convoy. That cannot be the role of an army. That cannot be the role of an army that has hundreds of drones above Gaza in any single moment.
Israeli forces have repeatedly hit ambulances and vehicles carrying aid, as well as relief organization offices and UN shelters, claiming that armed fighters were in them. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
The devastating Israeli airstrikes that killed World Central Kitchen personnel yesterday bring the number of aid workers killed in this conflict to 196, including more than 175 members of our own UN staff. This is unconscionable, but it is an inevitable result of the way the war is being conducted. It demonstrates yet again the urgent need for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, the unconditional release of all hostages, and the expansion of humanitarian aid into Gaza, as the Security Council demanded in its resolution last week.
The attack on the World Central Kitchen workers threatened to set back efforts by the U.S. and other countries to open a maritime corridor for aid from Cyprus to help ease the desperate conditions in northern Gaza. President Biden teamed up with Senator Bernie Sanders Wednesday to promote his administration's efforts to lower the cost of inhalers and other healthcare needs as the White House continues its effort to highlight Biden's legislative achievements to voters ahead of the November elections. Both men touted the lower healthcare costs that come through the Democrats' sweeping climate, healthcare, and tax package that Biden signed into law in 2022. It puts a lid on various costs for those on Medicare, including $35 a month for insulin and $2,000 a year for prescription drugs. No Republican lawmakers voted in favor of it.
The last few weeks, some of the big drug companies have gotten the message to reduce the prices for some asthma drugs. Bernie's a big reason why that's happened. In fact, 3 of the 4 largest companies are capping the cost of inhalers for many patients. That can be up to $600 out of pocket at $35. There's some progress going beyond what we've looked on the wall. But it's about time. And going forward, with more competition and more generic drugs in the market, the price could even be less than it is now. That's not all. Because of all of you, our Inflation Reduction Act, drug companies that raise prices more than inflation are going to pay back Medicare the difference between what they charge and the inflation rate. This is based on the price of their drugs in 2021. That means consumers will pay less for prescription drugs, and they'll save taxpayers money and discourage companies from hiking prices faster than inflation in the first place. We want to do more. It's time that drug companies pay rebates when they increase prices faster than inflation, not just for seniors, but for every single American.
Biden's aides and Democratic allies say his achievements, such as lowering healthcare costs, are popular with the public, yet the incumbent president has yet to get the credit from voters. Sanders has a loyal following that supports his calls to rein in medical costs in the U.S. and give the government more control over the healthcare industry. Turning to sports this morning, the New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils started Wednesday night's game with a brawl involving all 10 players on the ice off the opening faceoff. The main event was Rangers forward Matt Rent taking on New Jersey's Curtis McDermott, with the two having history from the previous time the two played on March 11th. The Rangers went on to win 4-3 on a late power play goal Wednesday. All 10 players received 5-minute fighting penalties. Trevor Moore scored 3 goals for a second career hat trick, and the LA Kings snapped their 3-game skid while eliminating the Seattle Kraken from the Stanley Cup playoff race with a 5-2 victory over the Kraken Wednesday. Shohei Ohtani hit his first home run for the LA Dodgers, a solo shot in the 7th inning in a 5-4 win over the Giants Wednesday that finished a 3-game sweep. Playing his 9th game for his new team, Ohtani pulled a 93-mile-per-hour sinker from left-hander Taylor Rogers on the upper portion of the strike zone into right center field pavilion. 3-1. Joe Davis with the call on the Spectrum Sports Live Network. The ball left his bat at 105 miles per hour and landed 430 feet from the plate, where it was picked up by a fan. On the hardwood, Devin Booker had 40 points.
National Recreation Area.
The Suns beat the Cavaliers 122-101. The Suns have won 6 of the past 8, moving up to the number 6 spot in the crowded Western Conference playoff race, which would allow them to avoid the play-in tournament. Booker, coming off a 52-point night in a win against New Orleans Monday, shot 13 of 25 from the field, including 5 of 9 from 3. Durant shot 13 of 23 and added 7 assists. Booker on his hot streak.
I mean, it just starts with stops. I think when we're guarding at a high level, the ball's hopping around, it's easy to find rhythm. So, we've been doing a good job of that the past 2 games, some important games. From here on out, every game matters.
And you and Kevin Durant, 2nd game this season that you guys have scored at least 30 points. You combined for 72 tonight. Where is just the confidence level you two have attacking alongside each other?
I mean, that's my favorite player, so iron sharpens iron, and, be alongside him every game. And obviously he causes a lot of attention. It opens up a lot of great looks for everybody on the team. But we're building. Like I said, this is a tough stretch of the year and an important stretch at the same time. So, we're in good shape.
Booker making the comments to ESPN's Cassidy Hubbard. The Suns would have won the play-in tournament if the season ended today, but there's plenty of work to do. The Cavs, meanwhile, are trying to protect the number 3 spot in the East. The Magic and the Knicks are right behind. And Anthony Davis had 19 of his 35 in the first quarter and had 18 rebounds, helping the Lakers beat the Wizards 125-120 Wednesday.
And plus, I get to meet really cool people, and we get to talk about really
LeBron James had 25 points and 9 assists.
Yeah.
Really
Oh, it's super fun.
19 for the Lakers against his former.
Okay, we got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Free throws without a miss. Jordan Poole led Washington with 29 points. LeBron James.
Okay. Here we go.
We'll decide at the end of the season where everybody will be at. So our next opponent is Cleveland.
Rose, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
We're excited to kind of get
do me a favor, go ahead and just talk into your mic there a little bit for me.
Okay, let me turn it this way. That sound okay right about there?
Perfect. Real good. Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Goes for this time up here. So
the Lakers are ninth in the Western Conference, meaning they have to win twice in the play-in tournament to make the main playoff bracket. But they're making a push to move up. LA trailed Phoenix and Sacramento by 1.5 games entering Wednesday. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. You're listening to America's First News.
At Hotshot Secret, we listen to our customers. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time. Our fans call it EDP.
I've been using Hotshot Secret EDT every tank for almost 3 years, and I've seen about 1.5 to 2 miles per gallon increase in fuel mileage.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com.
Okay.
Calamari here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com.
Who we
At
gonna
this
show?
site, there are 500 radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you. And be sure to browse the additional
Colfax.
700 old-time
Well, shout
radio
out
shows
Colfax.
available to you for 70% off by using the promo code radio at checkout. This is a limited time offer. So log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:45 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Colfax. Currently 36 degrees where you're at today, looking for right now, looking for a high today of 44 degrees. Gang, we are in for a treat today. I am so excited. Ever since I got this book in my hot little hands about a week ago, I have been reading some of these stories, and I got to tell you, it's one of those things where you read a story, like, I got to read the next story. I got to read the next story. I can't put it down. Tales from a Rogue Ranger. Author Rose McHenry is here in the studio with me. Rose, good morning. How are you? Good, good. Well, thanks so much for coming in. I know it's a little bit early, so thanks for getting up a little bit early today and coming in and joining me. Now, I got to tell you, you put together your press packet for this book is fantastic. There's so much great information. I was going to read your bio, but I'm like, why should I read that? Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became an author? I like how you say you defected. Yeah. Yeah, this book is chock full of them. Now, you have another book that you wrote before this one. Tell me a little bit about that. We'll get to this book, but tell me a little bit about that book that you wrote before. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No. That is fantastic. Now, I love how from an early age you said, "This is what I'm meant to do. I've been inspired by this. I can see this. This is my path for life." Love that. Tell me a little bit about now. You mentioned a little bit something, whether it's in the book or in some of your information here. There's a little bit of difference of being a national park ranger and being a state park ranger in that, as far as being a peace officer. Tell me a little bit about that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So you were full law enforcement basically at that point. Which leads to a lot of interesting story now, Tales from a Rogue Ranger, where you get into that. Now, was that, did you know that going into it? Was that something that made you think twice about it? Or is it, yeah, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to carry a gun. I'm going to carry a badge. Like, what was that like for you making that transition? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Well, and you were saying too that a lot of these state parks, national parks, they kind of have their own domain and are out there. But a lot of state parks are near more populated areas, so you've got closer to people coming in, using them just for the day or whatnot, and then going out and moving on from there. Yeah. Oh boy. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Alcohol may have been involved, I'm sure, in several instances. Yeah. Ah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit about before we get into the book here, how long did it take you? I know you've got the stories, you were probably keeping notes of them. Did you keep a journal? How did you come to put all of these stories together? And about how long did it take you to actually write the book? Okay. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Mm. Now, did you have to do logs? So did that kind of help? Did you have to write down like any reports or anything like that? So that kind of maybe helped solidify them a little bit more as you were writing and recounting them? Yeah. Yeah, I bet. And we are 8 minutes to the top of the hour. If you're just joining us, I'm talking to local author Rose McHenry. We're talking about her new book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger. We're going to talk about a book signing here where you can come and meet Rose. You can get the book, get an autographed copy. Where you can find the book, trust me, you are going to want to read this book. It is fantastic. And before we get into that, I want to talk about some of the chapters here in the book, Rose. But before we get about it, just tell us, just give us a kind of a high level overview of the book, what we can expect here in Tales of a Rogue from a Rogue Ranger. Yes, yes, I am excited about that. Okay, we're going to get into some of the stories in this book. Before we do that, we're going to keep everybody on a limb here for a second while we take some commercial breaks here. We'll be back talking to author Rose McHenry, talking about her new book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger. We'll be back right after this.
Owner of ABT Plumbing, Electric, Heat and Air. ABT has been in business since 2001, and we are thrilled to have been voted Auburn's best plumbing company and best heating and cooling company in Auburn Journal's Best of Auburn promotion. We're very proud to have placed this runner-up in electrical category as well. Our technicians are experienced and friendly. If you have an issue with your plumbing, need a whole house generator, or maybe your furnace is broke, give ABT a call. Reach us at 530-230-9004 for excellent service. It really is as easy as ABT.
Lindsay Cleaning Services is an award-winning residential and commercial cleaning service. They've been voted best house cleaning service, best customer service, and best place to work in Auburn, Roseville, Rockland, Loomis, Colfax, Folsom, even Eldorado Hills. Mention KAHI and get 10% off your first cleaning service. Give them a call and find out why they are voted best of the best year after year. Call 530-745-4227 or check out IJustWantItClean.com.
Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the Morning along with Matt Ray in America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the Morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
Auburn's department store is McCullough's in the Auburn Town Center. McCullough's carries all the name brand products you're looking for. Right now, you'll find deals on Hydroplast, just right for spring and summer. Women's and men's t-shirts by Life is Good, Old Guys Rule, and Laid Back. And men's Hawaiian-made Aloha shirts, just right for the warmer weather. Everything you need is all in one store, right here in Auburn. McCullough's department store in the Auburn Town Center, right off the bench.
In the heating and air conditioning business.
Okay, we got about 1 minute here. Right after this one, we'll jump right back in.
But surprise comes to the technical knowledge required of a heating and air technician.
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a true technician but knows next to nothing when servicing your heating and air system. His only focus is to sell you a new one. That will never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of your heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive part service of both your furnace and your air conditioner with a written guarantee against breakdown, or the service will be free all year long. Total cost $78 or save $2,500 on a brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old hard system. Details at 916-378-6270 or
BigMountainAir.com. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 3 minutes to the top of the hour here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, a voice of the foothills. If you're just joining us, I am chatting with local author Rose McHenry. We are talking about her brand new book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger, stories set against the backdrop of California's American River Canyon, real near and dear to all of us here in the Auburn and surrounding area. Rose, hello, good morning again. Welcome to the show. So glad that you're here. Okay, now before the commercial break, we teased that we were going to get into some of the chapters in here, some of the short stories. What I love about this is so digestible and easy to read. There is some of these stories are maybe 2, 3, 4 pages long, so it's real easy to kind of make through. Now I got to ask you, I've got a couple of my favorite chapters, but I got to start with you. What are some of your favorite chapters or stories here in the book? Okay. Okay. So okay, so that is one of the stories that I dog-eared. That was pretty funny. So I was on a call with a coworker. She lives in the Atlanta area, and I was telling her, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, this book that I have here, I'm going through it, and I'm so excited to interview the author. And she's like, wait, what are these things? It's called Love on the Rocks, and I'm like, hang on, everybody, just hold on. And I literally read the story to my coworkers on a Zoom call. It's about a page and a half. It's so funny. It is really good. And it is exactly what you think it is. That you guys kind of happened upon a couple individuals who thought that they couldn't be seen. And turns out you guys saw them from the road. Well, and yeah, I love the dialogue that you and your partner were at the time were having. Should we go talk to how do we approach them? Are we going to scare them? Oh my goodness gracious! How about any others there that? Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Oh yes, absolutely. That is so good. I believe that too. My grandparents, they had a farm growing up, and there was a goose that we did not go in that field where that goose was. Her name was Lily the Goose. Terrifying. I believe every word of that is absolutely true. Yeah, those geese are aggressive. Okay, here's one that I dog-eared here. Chapter 44, page 212, Last Chance Outhouse. Is that what I think? Now, I haven't gotten this far in the book yet. Is that what I think it is? Is that your last chance to do what you got to do? Okay. Yeah. Right. I can imagine. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Oh, I bet. And always colorful. Like the number of colorful characters that you encounter in this is absolutely fantastic. Okay, a couple more here. How about Attack of the Killer Caterpillars? And this one really caught my eye. I doubled back on this one. Raptor Man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, right? This is their area, sir. Yeah. No kidding. So you introduce one thing to get rid of the other thing. Oh my goodness gracious. I love it. I love it. And then I think it was on page one. Where was it? Raptor Man was there on 134, I think is what page we were on there. But yeah, that was fantastic. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Whoa. Yeah. Against the bird. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. All different kinds of yes. Right? And just shooting at birds. Okay, with a rocket launcher. Good luck with that. Hey, tell us a little bit now. You have a book launch party that's coming up here. I would love to find out the where, when, and how, and all the good stuff there. And then tell us where we can find this fantastic book. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, nice. Are they really? Oh my gosh. Well, who knows? Mhm. Nice. Okay. Great. Yeah, the Welcome Center just right around the corner over here. So yeah, I can pick it up. Pick up both of your books there. Can are both of them going to be available there? Yeah. Rose, it has been a pleasure having you in here. Thank you so much for coming in. Again, the book is Tales from a Rogue Ranger. Again, the book signing and launch party is going to be on Sunday, April 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. That's going to be at Canyon View Community Center in the Foothills Room. That's at 471 Maidu Drive here in Auburn. You know where it is. The bike track is out over there. Gorgeous. I love that it's you're in a place overlooking the canyon where I'm sure you are very, very familiar with all the twists and turns in that canyon. That's fantastic. I love what you said. One of the fantastic things about being it is, 40,000 acres to go out and not only protect, but to enjoy at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. My goodness, what a little paradise we live in here, don't we? Isn't it just gorgeous? Every day I kind of look out there and just think, my goodness, we live in such a fantastic place. Rose, thanks so much for coming in and chatting with me a little bit today. Again, Rose McHenry, Tales from a Rogue Ranger is her new book coming out. You can check it out online. Also, there's going to be the launch party and book signing on Sunday, April 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. at Canyon View Community Center. And you can also find it here at the Welcome Center here in town in Auburn, along with her first book. What's the name of the first book again? I love it. I love it. All right. Thanks so much, Rose. We're going to go ahead and jump back now into America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
We've been very public about those conversations. On this particular incident, there will be an investigation. There is an investigation currently happening. The president has said He wants it to be swift. He wants it to be
Rose, that was so much fun.
He wants there to see accountability, to bring account, right? To bring accountability. He said that in his statement.
The killed were 3 British citizens, a Polish citizen, an Australian, and a Canadian-American dual citizen. Israeli Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi.
It shouldn't have happened. The initial findings were just presented to me here in the Southern Command. I also visited the new Ovaltine Command Center that we established today to improve the way we coordinate aid distribution in Gaza. We will continue taking immediate action to ensure that more is done to protect humanitarian aid workers. This incident was a grave mistake.
The strikes on the World Central Kitchen workers threaten to set back efforts by the U.S. and other countries to open a maritime corridor for aid from Cyprus to help ease the desperate conditions in northern Gaza. A major spring storm was expected to drop more than a foot of snow in parts of New England Wednesday night, while heavy rain soaked the East Coast and cleanup work continued in several states racked by tornadoes and other severe weather, blamed for killing at least 3 people. The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for several states. Parts of New Hampshire and Maine were expected to see the highest amounts of snow. Storms in northeastern Oklahoma Tuesday unleashed 3 suspected tornadoes and dumped heavy rain that was blamed for the death of a 46-year-old homeless woman in Tulsa. She was sheltering inside of a drainage pipe. In Kentucky, storms that spawned at least 5 tornadoes resulted in 1 death from a vehicle crash and left widespread damage in several counties. And a woman in her 80s was killed in the Philadelphia suburb of Collegeville Wednesday when a tree fell on her car following heavy rainfall. A judge on Wednesday rejected Donald Trump's bid to delay his April 15th hush money criminal trial until the Supreme Court rules on the presidential immunity claims he raised in another of his criminal cases, spurning another of the former president's ploys to put off the historic trial. Several more are pending. Manhattan Judge Juan Merchant declared the request untimely, ruling that Trump's lawyers had plenty of opportunities to raise the immunity issue before they finally did so last month, well after a deadline for pretrial motions had already passed. The timing of the defense's March 7th filing raises real questions about the sincerity and the actual purpose of the motion, according to the judge's decision. A poultry facility in Michigan and an egg producer in Texas both reported outbreaks of avian flu this week. The latest developments on the virus also include infected dairy cows and the first known instance of a human catching bird flu from a mammal. Although health officials say the risk to the public remains low, there's rising concerns emerging in part from news that the largest producer of fresh eggs in the U.S. reported an outbreak. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the CDC is handling the situation.
CDC has been certainly working on top, working and focusing on this. We take health and safety of the American people seriously. It is very important to this president. Our top priority is to keep communities healthy, safe, and informed. We're closely tracking these, monitoring this, as I just stated. The reports that are out there and have active, relevant agencies to coordinate with and support local authorities. The CDC has said the risk to human health from this outbreak is low. They're continuing to monitor and will continue to coordinate with relevant agencies and officials. This is when it comes to the public health of the American people, we take that very seriously and we'll continue to track this.
This week, Texas health officials announced that a person who had been in contact with cows had been diagnosed with bird flu. Their only reported symptom was eye redness. U.S. health officials have stressed that the current public risk is low and that there's no sign that bird flu is spreading person to person. The Powerball jackpot has increased to an estimated $1.23 billion after another drawing without a big winner Wednesday night. The numbers were 11, 48, 41, 62, and 65.
Yeah,
the Powerball was
my grandma had grown up, she had an old olive tree in her backyard, and that smell is I always remember that. Comes back. Yeah, and I love that they're still there. These old 92.2 million. Anyway, Rose, thank you so much. And this was wonderful. Do you need this back, or can I hang on to this? Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I do. Well, and now I've got your contact, so we can get you in here and talk about your other book. Let's let this one be out there for a little bit, and then we'll come here and chat some more.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Rose. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
$595 million. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Great Talk. You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News. We'll be right back. Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme.
Extreme!
The solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy.
Okay, what are we
Whether
doing?
you're driving
We are
a sports
doing
car or a
Fox
daily
Business.
commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with DEA to deep clean. Don't settle for
Powered
an
by
average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and
Here we
Human
go.
Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Auburn. Currently 42 degrees right now, looking for a high today of 46 degrees. All right, let's head off now to the Fox Business Report.
The Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher with continued anticipation that interest rates could be coming down. There was little change in the number of new claims for unemployment benefits last week, an increase of 9,000 to 221,000. The monthly employment report is released tomorrow. Ford shares are up more than 1.5%. Ford is delaying its planned launch of its all-electric SUV from 2025 to 27 to allow for newer battery technology and will step up production of hybrids to meet demand. Amazon shares opened up nearly 1% at a record. ConAgra shares opened 6.5% higher. The parent company of Hunt's, Ready-Whip, and other food brands reported a better than expected quarter. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Coselda, invested in you.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Can't sleep, trouble concentrating, dry, itchy skin, urinating more often? These are some of the symptoms of kidney disease. Many people don't understand what kidney disease is, who's at risk, and what they can do to avoid serious kidney health issues. Find out if you are at risk. Go to OptumKidneyCheck.com to take a simple survey that can help you see if you're one of the 1 in 3 people who's at risk of developing kidney disease. That's OPTUMKidneyCheck.com. A public service message from the National Kidney Foundation, Optum Labs, and this station.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, taking a look outside now at traffic on our roadways, 80 eastbound and westbound, looking pretty good right now until you get westbound over to where it connects over to Cap City Freeway west at Watt Avenue. Looks like we've got an accident reported there just a little bit ago. Says the shoulder is blocked, so heads up there near the Cap City split, 80 westbound. If you're heading in towards Sacramento or if you're heading over to the airport right now, looks like we've got an accident. Doesn't look like it's slowing down traffic too much, but again, you see somebody on the side of the road, whether it's an accident or a construction crew, make sure you're giving them a break as you're going by. Cap City Freeway, as you're going into Sacramento, slowing down around El Camino right through there. Westbound, other than that, over to 80, looking to I-5 northbound and southbound, looking pretty good right now. And I wouldn't expect that for a Thursday, but yeah, looking pretty open right now. Lincoln southbound coming in towards 80, or Highway 65, I should say, from Lincoln coming into 80, slowing down around Blue Oaks. 80 looking good as you're heading up the hill right now. They were doing some construction near Applegate yesterday, so if you see some construction workers up there near eastbound Applegate on 80 right there, make sure you're giving some time there, going slow down. 50 eastbound and westbound looking pretty good, just slowing down right now around 59th Street as you're coming into Sacramento. Back with more right after this.
Today, we talk to business owners, large and small, about the headaches they face with workman's compensation. The rates keep going up, and those audits are a nightmare. Hi, Vince Harris from Homer Insurance. We tie your payroll and your work comp to mitigate much of the auditing issues, and the savings you'll enjoy will be. Call us today at Homer Insurance, 339-77, and see how much you can save. That number again, 916-339-77.
Catch Sinatra and Friends, Saturdays and Sundays, right here on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI. Join Frank and his friends, Sammy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and more, performing songs from the Great American Songbook. Sinatra and Friends Weekends, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishing on Folsom Boulevard in Rancho Cordova, right here on the Voice of the Foothills, 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
18 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, sports ball. Did the Kings play? No, they didn't, but I'll let you know when they will play again, when you can catch all of the action here on KAHI. We'll also wrap up some NBA scores, some MLB scores, Giants versus the Dodgers. We'll see how that goes. Also, some local sports as well. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you back here right after this. And while we're waiting for America's First News to come on, because apparently the buttons and the toggles didn't get pressed, I'm going to remind you, hey, we were just talking to author Rose McHenry, talking about her new book coming out called Tales from a Rogue Ranger. Fantastic book. Highly recommend it. Been reading some really great short stories in there about her time as a state park ranger here around the area. She's going to have a book launch party. That's going to be on Sunday, April 14th. That's going to be from 2 to 4 p.m. It's going to be at the Canyon View Community Center in the Foothills Room. That's at 471 Mighty Drive here in Auburn. There's going to be refreshments, fun activities, prizes, author talk, book signing, and more. You should check it out. Again, the book is Tales from a Rogue Ranger, stories happening from her life as a California State Park Ranger. Really great. Thanks again, Rose, for coming in here and chatting with me. Let's see if we've got America's First News happening now.
I think that's a pretty fair way to do it. I think the threat of how social media and big tech are able to perpetuate conversations about things, and these are systems that are incentivized based on engagement. What sort of things can we do to capture the attention of our audience? And so a lot of times issues are amplified in such a way that makes it seem more sensational.
Sports ball next, and not things and tales and things. Okay, cool.
Default to things go viral on social media. And that can result in sometimes making the wrong decision, of course. I mentioned that the response time to a lot of issues is like a 48-hour window, which is crazy. How can you expect the CEO of an airline to be an expert on voter legislation and the law? It's just not their MO. So sometimes these CEOs, they're not perfect. They're people just like us. And they fall victim to the wrong messaging. Right? They fall victim to social platforms that are designed to send them a high frequency of a specific type of messaging. Comes with sort of a reason, a purpose behind it. So ensuring that these brands are being exposed to facts and to diversity of information is really, really important.
I can't imagine the pressure that goes along with all of that. I guess they do have the option to say go somewhere else, but that's not the way. Nobody would ever say that.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't. We probably created an HR issue, to be honest. And the thing is that people are really picky today when it comes to choosing an employer. There is a surplus of jobs in the market right now. And the way the younger kids are, right, these Gen Zs and these younger millennials, they want to work for employers that share their common values and interests and goals. And so companies that are very, very left or very, very right, they're going to limit who's going to actually work for them in some respect. And sometimes you might lose out on an amazing employee and amazing contributor. So it really is those companies that I think are a little bit more center and that do everything they can to support healthy diversity of thought and healthy access to really our American system, the system that demands obviously voter integrity, but also access, ensuring widespread access. It shouldn't be hard to vote. And really, there's a lot of agreement on that. I think there was a poll a few years ago, a Harris poll, that cited about 80% of support for high integrity railroads, but also widespread access. And so there's a lot of things I think that we can all agree on, that we actually do agree on, despite what we're told by social media platforms. I found that if you just go outside and talk to your neighbor, you'll way more.
Most FOMC participants see it as likely to be appropriate to begin lowering the policy rate at some point this year.
In his speech, Powell also sought to dispel any notion that the Fed's interest rate decisions might be affected by the year's presidential election. The Fed will meet and decide whether to cut rates during the peak of the campaign in July and September. Fed officials will face a delicate decision during those months, during their upcoming meetings in May and June. Fed Reserve Governor Adriana Kugler.
And my baseline expectation is that inflation will continue without a broad economic slowdown, though such an outcome is naturally not assured. In considering the appropriate path of monetary policy, I am guided by the FOMC's dual mandate of maximum employment and stable prices.
The recent pickup in inflation, though slight, has led some economists to postpone their projections for when the Fed will begin cutting rates. Cuts would begin to reverse the 11 increases the central bank carried out beginning in March of 2022 to fight the worst inflation bout in 40 years. A lower Fed rate would likely lead over time to reduced borrowing rates for households and businesses. Major freight railroads will now have to maintain two-person crews on most routes under a new federal rule that was finalized this week in a milestone in organized labor's long fight to preserve the practice. The Transportation Department's Federal Railroad Administration released a rule that was first postponed during the Obama administration. Out of more than 13,000 comments on the rule, about 60 opposed it. There's been intense focus on railroad safety since a fiery February 2023 derailment in Ohio, but few significant changes have been made. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
We know that a big part of ensuring safety is ensuring that there is enough staff on board to safely operate the train and respond when something happens. And that's what brings us here today. These railroad corporations have, in some cases, begun using trains that are a multiple of the length that they used to be. Some of these trains running through communities are about 3 miles long. For perspective, if you put the Empire State Building on its side and then added 11 more Empire State Buildings, that's about how big some of these trains would be. And they want to operate that with one person. Certainly can't imagine operating one Empire State Building with one person. And it doesn't move. It defies common sense, and that changes today. On behalf of the Biden administration, our department is proud to issue this final rule requiring safe crew sizes for every train across America. And we're excited to celebrate that with you. That means that we finally have a general provision establishing minimum crew size for trains that should, and from now on must, have at least 2 crew members. A second crew member is vital to performing safety functions like securing a train with handbrakes, handling track switches that are not remotely controlled, obtaining track authorities, assisting in emergencies, and much more. But we know there's more to do. This rule alone will not prevent every incident or accident. So we're going to keep pushing together on what we know that we can achieve from within this building. We're going to keep pushing industry to make the changes that they could make today if they were willing. And we are going to keep pressing Congress to pass the Railway Safety Act.
The railroads argue that the size of train crews should be determined by contract talks, not regulators or lawmakers, because they maintain there's not enough data to show that two-person crews are safer. And Disney shareholders rallied behind longtime CEO Robert Iger, voting Wednesday to rebuff activist investor Nelson Peltz and his ally, former Disney chief financial officer Jay Rasulo, who had sought seats on the company's board. The company had recommended a slate of directors that did not include Peltz or Rasulo. The dissident shareholders had said in a preliminary proxy filing that they wanted to complete a successful CEO transition at Disney and align management pay with performance. Despite their loss, they declared a victory of sorts following the vote, noting that since Peltz's company, Tree & Partners, started pushing Disney in late 2023, the entertainment giant has engaged in a flurry of activity, adding new directors and announcing new operating initiatives and capital improvement plans for its theme parks. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. We're just getting started on this Thursday morning. More on the way. Grab the coffee. Let's go. You're listening to America's First News.
America's First News.
Hey everyone, Joanne Butler here with Spring Must-Haves you have to know about. Let's start with Starbucks Salt. They're making it even better right now for spring, celebrating big time with 2 new lavender flavored treatments. They're just so good. The lavender cream matcha and the lavender latte are both made from milk. Super delicious, creamy. Every sip just puts me in a spring state of mind. Plus I have all this cool new spring merch, cups, tumblers. All of this stuff is a limited time, no longer lasts. So hurry on in there.
Now, time for another Otis Advisor. Maybe you've noticed that sometimes Sleepy Joe has trouble finding the right word. He mainly just says stuff that sounds like what he's heard on TV.
Corporate America's been doing incredibly well for the last 15 years. Their profits are coming up exponentially.
Hell, Joe thought Hammer Time was just happy hour. He can't play Spy versus Spy because he can't remember which is which. And no, Joe, Star Wars is not a diversity movie. Not yet. And Darth Vader's half-sister Ruth is not the one on the Supreme Court. So stop saying that. It's all this cone of uncertainty that has the Apple tribe so worried. They think of Joe like having dual exhaust. But with one side all stopped up. And they don't like it one bit. I think you're starting to look shovel-ready. Shovel-ready. You could just start saying everything really loud so it sounds more like you mean it. I'd 86 that too. Now, my friend Shortman came back from his Ukrainian blind date. All he could talk about was how he wished he had had more hands. But that's not important now. Look, Joe, you could still turn this around. Start by telling them you never heard of anybody named Hunter. And you thought Ukraine was some kind of migratory bird trying to get
Okay, here we go.
I believe a mini-series is all
5 seconds, Adam.
This is your Uncle Otis, and I'll see you at the Peace.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, April 4th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Grass Valley, currently 37 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 44 degrees. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's get right into it right now. Starting in the MLB, baseball is back, baby. Starting with Giants versus the Dodgers. Ohtani whacks 430-foot HR for first as a Dodger. Yeah, big whoop. Okay, Dodgers win that one 5-4 over the Giants. Next time, fellas, let's get them next time. Astros versus the Blue Jays. Astros win that one 8-0. Padres versus the Cardinals. Padres win that one 3-2. A's versus the Red Sox. If you listened to this on KAHI yesterday, you would know that the A's lost 1-0 to the Red Sox. We'll let you know when upcoming A's games are going to be here on KAHI. Angels versus the Marlins. Angels win that one 10-2. Going over to the hardwood now. NBA Trailblazers versus the Hornets. Trailblazers win that one 89-86. Lakers versus the Wizards. Lakers win that one 125-120. Celtics versus the Thunder. Celtics win that one 135-100. Kings didn't play yesterday, but they are playing today. And you can catch all of the action here on KAHI starting at 4:30 p.m. this afternoon. Kings versus the New York Knicks playing today, 4:30 p.m. here on KAHI. Catch all of the action again starting at 4:30 p.m. And turning it over to the Auburn Journal local sports here. Colfax's Redding shines at Stanford Invitational. Colfax High School senior Jesse Redding had a standout performance in the distance events, placing top 10 in the girls' 1,600 and 3,200 meter races. Redding, who will run at the University of Idaho next school year, placed with the top time of any San Joaquin section runner in both events. She finished 6th in the 1,600 in 5 minutes and 4.84 seconds, and 5th in the 3,200 in 10 minutes, 56 seconds. 10 minutes? Is it 10 minutes for that? Yeah, 10 minutes, 56.83 seconds. Back with more KAHI weather right after this.
Here's one of our local advertisers to tell you why he loves KAHI
Is that
Radio.
right? We did that in minutes, right? Not seconds? Yeah.
Our law offices are located throughout California.
Oh, well.
And we have the opportunity to advertise across the state. We chose to advertise with KAHI. Among our other locations, we see the advantage of reaching those who matter most, the local customers, through local radio on KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
For Thursday morning, a series of lows coming in from the west will be giving us clouds and a few rain showers today, tonight, and Friday. Temperatures today will be around the 48, 49 degree mark, and it'll be very close to about 37, 38 overnight. Those temperatures will be near 50 with a few rain showers Friday, and maybe a snow shower in the morning.
Man,
and then it clears for the
time goes by so fast
This is
here.
the meteorologist, Tim Wright, and
That's good, I guess.
104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Thank you, Tim. 33 minutes past the top of the hour. Hey, gang, that is going to do it for me today. We're going to finish out this hour with America's First News and the O'Reilly Report. My thanks again to local author Rose McHenry coming in and talking about her new book, Tales from a Rogue Ranger, all about her time as a state park ranger here in the area. Gang, it is full of fantastic stories. Check out the book launch party. That's going to be Sunday, April 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Canyon View Community Center in the Foothills Room, 471 Mighty Drive in Auburn. Go ahead and check that out. You can also find her book at the Welcome Center here in Auburn, also online, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Back now to America's First News, and until we meet again, remember to be kind, be honest, be yourself, and remember you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a fantastic day. See you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Continues 34 minutes past the hour on this fourth day of April. And President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are set to speak today amid growing White House frustration with Israel's prosecution of the war in Gaza and the aftermath of an Israeli airstrike on Field 7A workers.
That's it, gang.
Biden's likely to
We did
reiterate
it.
his concerns. Biden's likely to reiterate his concerns. Israel is not
Great interview. Really fun. Rose was awesome.
Central Kitchen Jose
Okay.
killed 7 of his food.
So keep that. Keep promoting that. Yeah, I'm going to keep that as part of my promotion. Until we get to that. Loved having the book here, reading the stories. We'll keep that there. Keep that in my stack of papers there. And close everything out here.
That 7 team members between the specialty security people we have, 3 British individuals and 3
That's going to be on there.
3 international
Unplug the headphones here.
that they were targeted systematically, car by car. They were targeting us in the conflicting zone.
Well, I hope it was worth the watch today. We'll see. Trying something new with the hair. What do we think? My wife says I should floof it. Should floof the hair a little bit more. Trying to grow it out. I don't know if I look good with long hair, but we're going to see what happens as I learn to. She's like, floof and spray. Floof and spray your hair. That's the name of my band back in the 80s. Floof and spray. All right, thanks again for joining me today. We'll see you later. Bye.